You don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. U.S. Olympic hockey coach Herb Brooks, preparing his team, a huge underdog against the Soviet Union, at the 1980 Olympics. Unlike the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, the Avalanche unquestionably has enough talent to compete with the world's best. Based on their 12 first-round draft picks, plus 2 other players chosen early in the second round, the AVs, on paper, could stack up well against the Russians. But against the rest of the NHL, this team has talent. The big question is if it's ready to win now. Optimism exists because of the 12 new faces on the team from this time a year ago, the high-end young talent and second-year coach Jared Bednar settling in with a hand-picked staff. But understandable skepticism surrounds a team that finished in the NHL cellar last season with a franchise record low 48 points. The dozen first-round draft picks on the roster, including 3 taken number 1 overall, would seem to offer evidence that Colorado might be putting too much emphasis on a player's worth as a draft-eligible teenager ages 17-19, and not enough emphasis on his development and what he has become. I feel good about the roster, Avalanche left wing and team captain Gabe Landeskog said. We've talked about it, how young we are and how that should be some energy to our group. Most of all, we're hungry. Avalanche forwards Nail Yakupov, the number 1 pick in 2012, and Colin Wilson, chosen number 7 in 2008, were acquired over the summer and are attempting to resurrect their careers in Colorado. The AVs also have 3 other lottery forwards in Matt Duchene number 3 in 2009, Landeskog number 2 in 2011 and Nathan MacKinnon number 1 in 2013 out to reprove themselves after the worst seasons of their careers in 201,617. The draft is just the beginning. Just the starting point, said defenseman Eric Johnson, the number 1 pick in 2006 by St. Louis. You have to put a lot of work into it to have it come to fruition. You go right from the top of the mountain and then you have to kind of go down and start over again, because you're working your way into the league. As many skilled players as we have, you have to somehow make it come together and make it work in a team atmosphere. The skill is definitely there and hopefully it translates into a fun, successful season. Bednar, who inherited last season's roster but has helped build his second one, said there's both privilege and pressure in working with a young top 10 draft pick. He has 2 of them in forwards Mikko Rantanen, 20, and Tyson Jost, 19, who were picked number 10 overall in 2015 and 16, respectively. Rantanen led the AVs with 20 goals last season as a rookie and Jost was a freshman at the University of North Dakota. If I look at our forward group and see a lot of those first-round picks in it, I know we have some potential, Bednar said. As a coaching staff, we have to help them reach their potential and they have an obligation as players to keep working to get better within our team. I think we have a reason to be optimistic. I would caution our guys because there's a lot of work yet to do. You can't rest on where you were drafted. You have to make sure you put in the work and make sure you get to where you want to be. As a player and a person, the AVs didn't get anywhere last season. They began 31 and were 99 before the roof caved it. They won just 13 of their final 64 games. Colorado was a league worst in goals per game 2.01 and goals allowed 3.37. Bednar's new systems didn't work with the roster he inherited from Patrick Waugh, who stunned everyone when he resigned as coach in August. So general manager Joe Sakic rebuilt the roster with youth, and took a chance on a former can't-miss draft pick. Yakupov, who turns 24 this week, has scored just 11 goals in his last 100 games. A year after the Russian was considered the best player in his draft class, the AVs felt the same about MacKinnon, a center who was picked number 1 overall in 2013. But MacKinnon's NHL career has slowed after a fantastic start. He won the Calder Trophy as NHL Rookie of the Year in 201,314, but scored a career-low 16 goals last season. One day you're great, one day you stink, said MacKinnon, who showed flashes of greatness at the World Cup of Hockey last fall and the World Championship last spring. I felt like I played well at Worlds, scored a lot of goals with Team Canada, and that made my summer easier to bear than just finishing here. I got to play some good hockey and had some fun. I've never lost confidence in myself. With my abilities, I definitely should be better and I'm looking forward to prove that this season. As bad as last year was, I developed. I felt like I grew defensively and I'm happy with that. I want to bring my offensive game to the next level this season and I'm going to do it. And while members of the Avalanche's attack has shown flashes of potential throughout their careers, Colorado is hoping the talent of its blue line finally shines through. Defenseman Chris Bigres was selected by the Avies with the second pick of the second round in 2013, at number 32 overall, 3 spots before Avies forward JT Compher was selected by Buffalo. But Bigres is in his 5th training camp with Colorado and is only now in position to stick with the team for the first time after spending the bulk of the past 2 seasons in the AHL. Compher is centering the Avies' third line in what figures to be his first full NHL season. It's progression. You have to continuously get better, said Bigres, who was slowed by a concussion last season. As soon as you stop getting better, you find yourself out of the game pretty quickly. It's always a progression. The injuries for me last year, I took a lateral step. But this year I feel like I'm taking another step. The steps can be steep, but the lack of experience is combated by exciting youth. Nobody is really expecting anything of us, Landeskog said. And I think for us, inside this room, I think we can surprise some teams, and once we get that ball rolling with a young enthusiastic group, I think we could do really good. First-round draft picks playing for Avies: G. Semyon Varlamov, 23rd overall, Washington 2006; D. Erik Johnson, 1st overall, St. Louis 2006; F. Joe Colborne, 16th overall, Boston 2008; F. Matt Duchene, 3rd overall, Avalanche 2009; D. Nikita Zadorov, 16th overall, Buffalo 2013; F. Tyson Yost, 10th overall, Avalanche 2016; F. Colin Wilson, 7th overall, Nashville 2008; F. Nathan MacKinnon, 1st overall, Avalanche 2013; G. Jonathan Bernier, 11th overall, Los Angeles 2006; F. Nail Yakupov, 1st overall, Edmonton 2012; F. Gabe Landeskog, 2nd overall, Avalanche 2011; F. Mikko Rantanen, 10th overall, Avalanche 2015.